Canto 5. So I descended from the outer ring down to the next, which belts less space about but strings the souls to greater agony. Horrid Minos grunts there like a bull, weighs all the sins and sends the wicked down according to how far he winds his tail. I mean that when one born in evil hour appears before him, he confesses all, and then Judge Minos, the sin connoisseur, discerns what place in hell is fit for him, belts himself with his tail as many times as there are grades the sinner must ascend. Ever before him stand a crowd of souls. They step up, one by one, to testify. They speak and hear, and then are flung below. "You who come to this sanctuary of pain," said Minos when he saw me, leaving off the duties of so great a role, "beware, watch how you enter and in whom you trust. Don't be fooled by the broad and easy gate." My guide to him, "Enough! Why must you shout? You shall not bar him, for he comes by fate. No questions, only know that this is willed, where power is power, to do whatever it will." I now began to hear arising wails of sorrow. I have come where the great cries batter me like a wave pounding the shore. It is a place where all light is struck dumb, moaning as when high winds from east and west wrestle upon the sea in a fierce storm. That hellish cyclone that can never rest snatches the spirits up in its driving whirl, whisks them about and beats and buffets them, and when they fall before the ruined slope, then the shrieking, the laments, the cries. Then they hurl curses at the power of God. I learned that such a torment was designed for the damned who were wicked in the flesh, who made their reason subject to desire, and as a flock of starlings winter-beaten, founder upon their wings in widening turns, so did that whirlwind whip those evil souls, flinging them here and there and up and down, nor were they ever comforted by hope. No hope for rest, or even lesser pain. And as the cranes go cawing out their songs, forming a long streak in the air, I saw approaching us and trailing cries of woe, shades blown our way by the great battling winds. So I said, "Teacher, tell me, who are those spirits so lashed and scourged in the black air?" "The first among those souls whose history you wish to hear," he then responded, "was empress of men of many languages. She had so rotted with the lecher's vice, she altered lust to just by her decree, to bleach the scandal that she brought herself. Semiramis is she, of whom we read that she was Ninus's heir, his whorish wife. She held the land where now the Sultan rules. Next is that amorous soul who slew herself, and to Zacchaeus' ashes broke her vow. Then Cleopatra, steeped in lechery, Helen of Troy, then see, for whom 10 years of ill revolved, and see the great Achilles, who fell in his last combat, all for love. See Paris, Tristan, and he pointed out innumerable shades and named them all, whom love had severed from our life on earth. When I had heard my learned teacher name the courtly ladies and the knights of old, a whelm of pity left me at a loss. And, poet, I began, I greatly long to speak to those two shades who fly as one, and seem so lightly carried on the wind. And he responded, You shall see them when they sail nearer to us, then beg them by the love that drives them on, and they will come. Soon as the wind had swerved their flight our way, I cried, O weary spirits, if another does not forbid it, come and speak with us. As turtle doves who heed the loving call, with firm and lifted wings they shear the air, and fly to the sweet dovecote, swift of will. So did they veer away from Ditto's flock, and come to us through the malignant air. Such force had the affection of my cry. O loving spirit, courteous and good, traveling the black night to visit us, who left the world dyed purple with our blood. Were he who rules the universe our friend, we would entreat him, praying for your peace, for you have pitied us our twisted fate. All that you please to hear and speak about, we too will hear and speak with you, as long as the wind falls in silence, where the Po rushes with all its tributaries down to its sea harbor, that it may have peace. In that place lies the town where I was born. Love that flames soonest in the gentle heart seized him for that sweet body which was snatched from me. And how it happened hurts me still. Love that allows no loved one not to love seized me with such a strong delight in him that, as you see, it will not leave me yet. Love led us to one death. The realm of Cain waits for the man who quenched us of our lives. Such were the words they offered, and I bowed my head to hear the story of those souls and what they suffered, bowed so low. At last the poet said, What are you thinking of? When I could speak, I thus began, Alas, what great desire, what sweet and tender thoughts have led these lovers to this woeful pass? Turning to them once more, I spoke again. Francesca, I began, your torments move my heart to weep in pity for your pain. But tell me, in the season of sweet sighs, how did it happen? What made love give way that you should know the truth of your desires? And she to me, There is no greater grief than to recall a time of happiness while plunged in misery, as your teacher knows. But if so great a longing urges you to know about the first root of our love, then I will tell you, speaking through my tears. One day we two were reading for delight about how love had mastered Lancelot. We were alone and innocent, and felt no cause to fear, and as we read, at times we went pale, and we caught each other's glance. But we were conquered by one point alone, for when we read that the much-longed-for smile accepted such a gentle lover's kiss, this man, whom nothing will divide from me, trembled to place his lips upon my mouth. A pander was that author and his book. That day we did not read another page, and all the while one spirit told their tale, the other wept so sadly that I fell for pity of it to a death-like faint. and I dropped like a body stricken dead. End of Canto 5.